Rear Admiral Armand Dalilo said he is unable to confirm if the June 30 incident occurred. I have no information. Tahimik pa si Tariel at that time. Hindi pa siya na-mobilize ni Justice Carpio. Ito naman ang susunod na image po. Ito po si Raymond M. Powell. Who is Raymond M. Powell? Yan, Colonel Raymond M. Powell. Ray commanded the U.S. Air Force Honor Guard in Washington, D.C. from 2009 to 2011. Ray entered training to become a foreign area officer in 2011 and so. So Amerikano ang pinanggalingan at kino-quote po ng Philippine Star and the other news reports. Alam naman natin kung anong interest ng Amerika dito sa rehiyon natin at sa Pilipinas, na hanggang ngayon tuloy-tuloy na binabastos po ang Republika ng Pilipinas at pinapayagan po nitong nandyan sa Malacanang ngayon. Ito po si Rear Admiral Armand Balino. He said he's unable to confirm if the June 30 incident occurred. I have no information, sabi niya. Yan po si Rear Admiral Armand Balilo. Ngayon, ito, kahapon nagulat ako. Ngayon, itong si Mary Kay Carlson naman ang sumusuporta dito sa sinabi ni Powell, no? U.S. envoy in Philippines hates China's irresponsible behavior. So obviously po, naramdaman nila ang pagkaduda ng marami po dito sa senaryo na to na naman na pinipinta po ng mga Amerikano mismo. And they had to mobilize their ambassador in the Philippines to talk. And of course, Kaado just mentioned Defense Secretary of the U.S. Lloyd Austin. Ito po ulit. U.S. envoy in the Philippines hates China's irresponsible behavior. Now, sumunod naman na ngayon, July 8, lumabas po itong AFP calls swarm of Sino vessels in the West Philippine Sea a threat. Una-una, of course, from the picture that everybody is presenting, we don't know if they have other pictures, no? Hindi mo naman ma-identify kung Chinese or Vietnamese yan. Why do I mention that? Because the Vietnamese are the biggest swarms of fishing vessels in the South China Sea and in the what the Philippines claim as its exclusive economic zone. Because this is not exclusive, because this is still generally traditional fishing ground. No? Of course, may interpretation gaano kalaking barko, gaano fishing vessel and so on, gaano anong size and so on, but that's all under discussion and dispute, no? Ito naman ang from our past monitoring using the SCSPI Probing Initiative, South China Sea Probing Initiative satellite reports, no? This is anong date po nito? March 2021, which is of course unchanged. In other words, the Vietnamese are always also fishing, like Filipino fishermen are fishing, like Chinese and other fishermen from Malaysia, Brunei, and so on. No? Okay. In this just one day, a total of 8,590 fishing vessels with 87,535 tracking points were recorded. So that's just an example. And we tried to update sa ICS walang latest report. No? But this is what we keep referring to, keep reminding people na ayaw naman iulat po ng mainstream media, ng foreign media. Vietnamese vessel impounded in Tawi-Tawi for illegal fishing. And ayon kay Lorenzana, Vietnam is the most frequent poachers are the most frequent poachers in Philippine waters. Ayan. So we're doing this just to formally again restate the truth. So yan ang unang set. Kaado, what were you going to add to this topic?
Well, for the first time, we see China reacting proactively. No? May statement si Foreign Minister spokesperson Wang Wenbin to the effect that the Philippines was at fault. The Rinay Reef is part of China's Nansha Islands. On June 30, the Philippine Coast Guard vessels intruded into the waters of the Rinay Reef without Chinese permission. Ayan. And he also, in accordance with law, Kasi sabi ng Philippine Coast Guard at saka nitong ambassador ng Estados Unidos, at nag-eco mechanism pa si Lloyd Austin, that the Chinese Coast Guard acted dangerously, which Wang denied. In accordance with the law, the Chinese Coast Guard carried out law enforcement activities to uphold China's territorial sea and maritime order. The Chinese side's maneuvers were professional and restrained. Countering the Philippine Coast Guard claimed that during the operation, the PCG was constantly followed, harassed, and obstructed by significantly larger Chinese Coast Guard vessels at the distance of approximately 100 yards. So, kainin mo ito, J. Tariela. May mga pictures ka pang pinakikita. Mukhang pinaltan nyo lang yung petsa. At saka doon sa press conference mo, dahil tinawagan ka ng mga mainstream press tungkol doon sa statement mo sa Facebook, aanga-anga ka. You were incoherent. Hindi mo alam kung anong material mo. Paulit-ulit ka pa. And all that you were repeating were merely accusations. Ayan. So, this was not, no? It was the Chinese side maneuvers were professional and restrained. So, wag tayong gumagawa ng sarili nating kalokohan dyan. Unang-una, paulit-ulit na akong nagsasabi sa inyo, no? Paulit-ulit na akong nagsasabi sa inyo at umaapila sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Patungkol saan? Patungkol saan? I have been calling the attention of the Philippine government to cover whatever claims to the South China Sea we have with an internationally accepted baselines law and amending Republic Act 9522 earlier proposed by former Solicitor General Francis Hardelesa and geopolitical expert Melissa Loha. Kung ang official stand ng Pilipinas is based on the 2016 arbitral ruling, then we should update our baselines. Dahil katulad nito, obviously, sizing up the position of the Chinese Coast Guard and the Philippine Coast Guard, the Philippine Coast Guard is again lost at sea. Wala siyang pinagbabasihan ng mga tamang longitudes and latitudes to accomplish whatever mission it is trying to do. And number two, they are again superseding bilateral mechanisms of yung sinasabi ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Na communication at the highest levels. Umandar na naman kayo dyan, hindi kayo nagsasabi, natural lamang, pagdating ninyo dyan sa area, ay kayo ay maharang. Dahil mga kabansa, uulitin ko na naman for the endless time, ang distansya po ng Palawan sa Pag-asa Island is 308 nautical miles. Even assuming that we have 200 nautical miles of exclusive economic zone, lampas na ho all the way to Pag-asa. Now, what am I talking about? The distance alone, to navigate this distance alone and to move within the Spratly Island islands that we have, that we are claiming under Presidential Decree 1596. Dadaan ho tayo, hindi natin maiiwasan na dumaan sa 9 na Vietnamese claimed islands, 4 na China claimed islands, at 2 claimed islands ng Taiwan. So, it is very possible that when you venture into these islands, and especially all the way out to the Pag-asa Island, magkakaroon ho ng enkwentro. Magkakaroon ho ng how do you call it? Intended or unintended meeting at sea, because this Spratly Islands is heavily contested by 3 countries. Ang problema ka, Mentong, the Philippine position is in denial that there is the existence of a territorial dispute. Pag in denial tayo at wala tayong ginagalang na Vietnamese o Chino sa area na yan, napakaliit natin bansa, natural lamang na gusto niyo yata pakita kasi yung mga maliliit nating mga barko hinaharang ng mga malalaking barko ng China. And that is not China's fault. China, as far as China is concerned, as in the statement of Wang, no, is that they are merely enforcing their sovereignty. So these are conflicting claims. Now, to lessen the conflict, we talk before we act. We talk before we act. We send information. We request for assistance. Mahirap bang gawin yan? Hindi. You're behaving as if what is ours is ours Ayan na naman kayo Ini-insist nyo yan.
Daw yung video mo nawawala. Yung
sakit ng ulo, aabutin natin. Basag ulo.